बहुत अच्छा लगता कि मेरी बेटी पहले से कमज़ोर थी, अभी नॉर्मल में वो ये खेलती है, बोलती है, चलती है।
وين مرتا وين تمرق مرارة بدو يقاجي داون
والعظم يعني است الناس كامل يعني يقولوا لي مش تعيش البنت يوزنوا يعملوا كل شيء الحمد لله.
Wonderful. And with that, we're hitting it off. Day 2 of the first weekend. Boden, Wuppo. Let's go.
Hey, it's me. It's me, Boden. And this is the first time? Yeah, the first time Wuppo has been shown at SpeedDocsAthon. And I really don't want to hold you off too long, and let's just get right into it. Timing doesn't start yet. We start a new file on easy because easy is fast. And timing will start after this loading screen in quotation marks loading screen, really. It's weird. But we start timing when I click away this first text box here, so I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1, go. And you'll just hear me mashing like this probably for the entire run, because that's what I have to do for, you know, all of the text boxes that we have to look at. And
well, good luck, and don't break any fingers mashing.
I'll try. I've been doing this for a while. No fingers broken so far, so I think I've been having good luck. Also, I clicked the wrong text boxes there at the start. Oh, and this can happen. This guy can just randomly say stuff like that. And it's like text boxes that you can't mash away, you just have to wait until he stops talking. Also, we open the inventory in the, while we're on the elevator so that he doesn't talk to us again. It doesn't lose time if he talks to us, it's just annoying to bash through more text, you know. And with that, we are off to the service desk to get some ice cream. Whoa, all 3 of them have black cakes. That's pretty rare. Anyway, these guys always, they can say each one of 19 different dialogues, except for this guy. This guy always says the same one, but the first and the third guy can always say like one of 19 different dialogues, and only like 6 of them are fast. So if you really hated yourself, you could sit here and reset for 2 good dialogues for like just 30 minutes at a time. But luckily I'm in a marathon run and I don't have to worry about slow dialogues. So we're just gonna go right back up the elevator. Actually, I'll have this guy talk to me. Sometimes on the way back up, he can give you a dialogue that gives you 1 happiness. And 1 happiness adds 1 health to your health bar. So if he gave us 1 there, we would have 101 right now. Also, these splotches that I leave here are important. That looks like, yeah, 3 and 2. 3 on the left screen just now, and 2 outside of my room here. Because I will have to clean up the same amount of splotches that I leave when I get back here and have to clean up, but that'll be in like 15 minutes. Now this guy steals our TV from inside of me, which is pretty nice because that makes us small, and small is fast. And we can finally run and do some cool double jump stuff. And jump past this guy, do a specific double jump here to get right into this water hole, and jump down to this guy. And now mash through some more text. gives us a film strip that we have to get to by pressing O and clicking on it and then throwing it in here. That's the only film strip we get in the entire game. And then we have to stand right there where I stand on that ramp, because the farther we go to the right of this little house, the less far we have to go when we stop talking to this guy. Click on I know enough so he doesn't say too much stuff. We get the gun, press 1 to equip it, and he talks a little more, and then talk to him again to get a match from him, which we will also need in like 15 minutes. And then just swim back up, and when we swim back up here we have to pick up Snackball, which is one of the important story characters in the game, but we can just jump into him, open our rotary inventory, and wait for that click on another item, and skip the dialogue that he would usually spawn, or like usually he would talk to us, and if we do that he doesn't talk to us. And we really like not talking to that guy. That guy is extremely annoying. Luckily we have a way around talking to him for more than half of the run. But I'll get to that when I get to that. And we have arrived at our first boss fight. It's against this guy. He's called Frederick Fish. He spits stuff at us, and we didn't get him. But he is dead now. He actually died in a good spot because we have to go back over to the left of the screen. And if he dies to the right, we have to walk further. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, he gave us the bucket, which we need in a couple minutes. We also get this hat from this guy, which we also need in a couple minutes. Oh, messed up that jump. And we just have to do a little bit of jump and run to get to the place where we need the bucket and the helmet. And yeah, there's gonna be some pretty cool little jumps in a little bit. But first it's just a little bit of boring like mushroom jumps here. This one's kind of cool. You jump over here, hit the left of that mushroom, and then damage boost over that barrier. This one's also cool. You shoot that thing through a little gap in the hitbox of that vine so that it like crashes into the block and you can go through. Here's another kind of tricky mushroom jump, but we got it. It's fine. Do a double jump here so we don't pick up that film strip, otherwise what I said earlier would be wrong, and I don't want to be wrong. And Snackball talks to us again. While we're on the way here, we'll put the bucket and the helmet on there. And now we have to win this race against a snail. Honestly, kind of unfair, but it's the race is the snail is faster on harder difficulties, so it's actually kind of a race on like insane difficulty. But on easy, it's just like winning a race against a snail, basically. And we put this thing right here and stand on this thing. Oh, that guy actually threw us a berry that would have healed us if we weren't like already on the pedestal. And sometimes when you press down immediately as you fall asleep on that pedestal, you can fall down the pedestal, which is kind of funny. But I didn't get that. And this is our second boss fight. It's Blendjik, and his first attack is always walking to the right and then falling back towards the middle. And we want to manipulate him into doing not this attack by standing below him. Normally when you stand below him, well, not normally, but like I'd say about like 45% of the time, he does an attack where he like drops down on onto you and just jumps around the arena. But unfortunately he did this attack this time, which honestly it's not really slower. It's a little bit slower, but that was still a fine Blendjik fight, honestly. That was not bad. And now Snackball talks to us again. Very unfortunate. And we have to do a little jump to land on that pedestal, pick our bucket and our hat back up, we don't need that thing, and drop down into the tunnel. And equip the match we got earlier, because this guy talks to us and says, hey, you don't have a light source, let me go grab one for you, and we'd have to wait here for him to get it for us, which is stupid. So we just use the match, jump down here, equip the bucket, throw it on here, and get this guy to like enchant it so that we can shoot really fast for a short period of time, which we will need for the next boss fight, because if you have that fast shooty thing, you can sometimes kill him pretty fast, like you can get a fast cycle, which saves more time than it loses to go over there and like enchant that thing. Anyway, here's an apparition, a ghost. I'm pretty scared right now, if you can't tell. But yeah, this guy's gonna be disappearing, and we'll definitely never see him again. I think Snackball talks to us again, and we do this little jump to get to our third boss fight against... I'm actually blanking on the name right now, Blafknoft. Yeah. Jump on this thing and preemptively shoot water at him. And if I get lucky here, I get the fast Blafknoft cycle, which would be cool. Oh, that is not good. Oh, he actually didn't turn around. This might be a juicer. Yeah, you want him to, you want to kill him early so that he stops in the middle of the pedestal and then he turns around, and he actually stopped. You know, normally he would keep walking to the left and then come back and then, like, dig down. But like this, he just immediately digs down and you can kill him really fast. That was probably one of the fastest Blafknoft fights I've ever had. That was crazy. That was overall just that whole split was pretty good. I mean, if I had my splits up right now, that might have been a gold, I don't know. Anyway, do a little jump and run up here, some double jumps and some single jumps mixed in there. And we are back in front of the Wumhouse again. We're now gonna go back in, and Carlo is gonna be really mad because we spilled ice cream all over the 4th floor. And he'll make us clean it up. Hey Carlo. And he'll actually let us stay in the Wumhouse for a couple days. Stand right here to have him throw this thing at me, instead of having to jump onto that bell. Saves like a fraction of a second, but it saves time. And yeah, go up to the 4th floor. A little bit more dialogue, and now we actually do some inventory management. These are our hotkeys that we can put some items on and then just press the number on the top of your keyboard. Pretty useful. And we are gonna have to clean up our 5 splotches here. Just hope that this thing drops pellets onto the spots and then eat the last one. Well, you don't actually have to eat the last one, but it's safe to eat the last one. You just have to wait until the last one is completely, like, done growing, basically. And then you can, like, leave the screen. But, yeah, it's safer to eat the thing to make sure that it actually was done growing before you leave the screen. And I don't want to be unsafe in a marathon run. And this guy actually gives us the most annoying item in the game. The bazooka. And it's useful because the bazooka gives... Oh, whoops, I tapped out. That was weird. The bazooka gives us a boost if we shoot behind us. Oh, I got the cool elevator music. Right, anyway. We're on our way to the 4th boss fight, King Cone. These chefs here created like a giant ice cream cone specifically for me because they saw that I liked ice cream so much. And it's alive now and I'll have to kill it. So we just stand in this spot, and that specific attack that he does is the only thing that can actually hurt us. So I'll just have to look out for that one attack pattern, and then just stand there, dodge everything. Whoa, you really don't like me today. Wow, 4 in a row? Okay. Well, now that he's at 2/5 of his health, he just does this attack, and then we stand over here, and he is done. And he gives us the cherries, which will also be useful later, but like, way later. Anyway, shoot this so that a couple of these bubbles spawn, and we can jump into that tube, equip the match, and throw it in there. That's actually what we needed the match for. And have this thing clean up the left tube. The right tube wasn't really needed, but it happens sometimes, it doesn't really matter. And get the black cake here, also another extremely important item. And go down here and grab another important item, the onion. And with that we can grab another important item, the Popo chip cart from down there, by just kind of jumping in here and, you know, stealing it from them. Not like they care. And we can now go over to the train. If you make it to the Popo chip card within like 25 minutes of gameplay, you can make it to the train on like a good cycle that's like set if you make it there fast enough. But theoretically, on the way to the train you can do one like trick that's called a fake sell, where you like duplicate the black cake, which is what we'll be doing later, but doing it on the way to the train is pretty risky, especially because you're on a timer, you only have about 4 attempts to make it work, and the trick's pretty hard. But yeah, we're on the train now, and the train is, it's a long ride. So I'll just organize my inventory. Yeah, this should be good, right? 1, 2, 3. This 8, 9, and that on 4 should work. I'll put this on 0 for now. But yeah, let me just talk about this fake selling thing. So you have an item, right? And you go to a shop with it, and you click on sell on the shopkeeper. And when you then click on the shopkeeper with the item, you will throw the item at the shopkeeper, and you'll sell it that way. It'll disappear from your inventory and appear in the shopkeeper's inventory. But if you throw the item and on like a 2-frame window directly after you throw the item, if you press the like I button to open the inventory on keyboard or left on the D-pad on controller, you will... Wait, we're stopping at wisest one? What? That is what the? That is weird. It always stops at the other station that this train can stop at, which is Dorst Cafe. It always stops there if you get there on the cycle. I don't understand why this is happening now, but I guess this is how it works now. But alright, where was I? Yeah, fake selling. You can do that, and it'll give you the money, but you will still have the item. So basically, you have the money and the item, and you can just do that all over and over again to get infinite money. But we only need to do it 11 times in a row in this version of the route. There's actually something in the works where you have to fake sell a bunch more times to do another trick that was discovered basically yesterday. This always happens in my speed games for some reason. People always discover like some crazy glitch right before I have a marathon run, and since it's not in the route yet, I can't show it off. But anyway, we're in Popo City now, and waiting a line here. Another cool feature of this game: we actually have to wait in 2 lines in the any % run, and in my opinion, waiting in line is the opposite of a speedrun. Just the antithesis of doing a speedrun. It makes sense if you think about it for like an hour, maybe. But yeah, we're in Popo City now. We're coming up to the place where we have to do the fake selling. And what was also discovered, along with that glitch that I'm not gonna do, is that fake selling is infinitely easier on controller compared to mouse and keyboard. So I will just be shortly switching to controller just for the fake selling part of this run, because it's much safer and much easier. Alright, but first we have to get this free light right here for one specific reason, and that is to sell one of the main characters in the game. We actually, the cheap light works in a way where if you throw it on to a shopkeeper to sell it, it breaks on the way, and it'll be replaced with the last item that you held, and that item will be sold to the shopkeeper. So I'll equip Dank Snavel, the guy who talks to us all the time in the run, and I will equip the cheap light, throw the cheap light, and nothing happened. I don't understand why that didn't work. I had him equipped, but that's fine. You know what, I don't care. I'll try that again. The cheap light guy's right here. I want to get rid of Dank Snavel. I don't want to deal with Dank Snavel for the rest of the run, even though going back to try to sell him again is probably more of a time loss than mashing through all of his text, but you know, I'm stubborn like that. Alright, sell, and hopefully this time it works. We sell this, and finally I got Dank Snavel to be sold to the shopkeeper. And before I do the actual fake selling part of the run, let me just save real quick. It's safer to sell, to save before you fake sell. It's obviously slower, but I don't want to mess this up. Alright, I'm on controller now, and pressing the 2 buttons at virtually the same time is much easier on controller than it is on mouse and keyboard. Purely because the switches are basically the same thing on controller. Never mind, I messed it up. That happens, that's fine. Let me just buy it back and we can try again. I'm not very consistent at the controller thing yet, but I'm even less consistent at the keyboard version, so I guess if I just practice the controller version more, I'll just be a lot better at it. Never mind. Okay, that's weird. Why is it not working? Okay, we can try it again.
If I have a second.
Yeah, sure. I'll just.
I am being compelled by the power of money put towards saving the children. JR wants me to hear with my buttery smooth voice say, "Watch me, senpai." I hope that fulfilled your intentions, or whatever. Do not clip this.
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah, carry on.
I'm getting the hang of it right now. I feel like just a couple more of these. I just need to get to about 3,000 smirt, or 3,000 number above my head, to be able to leave this place and actually do the rest of the run. Come on. Hello? Man, this is so finicky. It's weird. It's not really that much more inconsistent. Much more consistent than on mouse and keyboard. Anyway, we can just sell it normally here and go back to mouse and keyboard because I don't need the controller anymore. And now we can buy some very expensive items. Finally done with the fake selling part of this run. So it's basically, well, almost smooth sailing from here. There's still some weird stuff later on, but we should be fine. And with that, we have upgraded our bazooka to be even more annoying than before. And the train is sadly not here yet, so we'll have to walk. Normally, well, if you're really fast with the fake selling, you can make the tram cycle here so that you don't have to wait. It's pretty tight though, you have to be really fast, like not mess it up at all, unlike what I just did there. Because as you can see, this way is pretty long. And you have to walk all the way over here. And there's the train. And we just have to go up into the central part of Popo City. Jump into this tube. And boost down here to talk to this guy. And buy one Popo hat and one swimming suit from him. And then we jump up here, throw some money to this guy, and go into Stodopop Hotel, which we do purely because we need to advance time to the point where it's nighttime in Popo City. If it wasn't nighttime here, I wouldn't have done this. But we just have to do that, and then go back down here to go to the lower part of Popo City. And go over here. Wait here for a little bit. Yeah, I don't really need to... My inventory is pretty good as of now. Just wait for this guy to come out, talk to him, and he will give us a quest to go over into jail and help one of his buddies break out of jail. Using this little hat we got. Wow, that police officer came in here really fast. It feels kind of random when he comes in here, but normally it takes a lot longer than what it just took there. And now we just have to walk back to Travis, the guy who gave us the quest, to get 250 smirt from him and be able to use his shop, which is very useful. Because buying stuff from him advances like the credit of the city by a lot, like by 10,000 for every 10 things you buy. And you need to advance it by about 20,000 because you need to get the city to 100,000. And when you get here, it's at about 80,000 credit. And you need to do that because at 100,000 credit, the city would expand and they would start the drill to drill a new hole, basically. But before that, we have to deal with the Kneft infestation brought on by this guy called Uber Henk, which we never actually see. We only see it after we only see him after we already resolved the problem. Because talking to him first would be very dumb and very slow. So we just go and do the thing and then go talk to him. And to do the thing we need the swimming suit that we bought a little bit ago. And throw that little toy that I picked up just now onto that pedestal to open this door, and we are now at the Grievous boss fight. Grievous always comes from the bottom left corner, and you have to shoot a bunch of shots into his mouth, basically. And if you shoot enough into his mouth, he will do this. He will like throw up like brown gooey stuff, and he will lose like parts of his like tail, basically parts of its length. And he loses most of them in the first phase, so that he only has 4 left in the second phase. But normally you'd have to do the thing that I just did again, but you can do something like that, where you shoot into his mouth while he's like sucking in his like stuff that he spit out. And I actually did it correctly here. If you shoot enough stuff into his mouth while he spits, he actually throws up immediately and you skip the second phase. I messed up this phase, unfortunately, so we didn't skip the third phase, but it's really hard to skip both phases, unfortunately. But skipping one phase is pretty fast. That was a pretty good previous fight, all things considered. Oh, never mind, yeah. I forgot that happens sometimes for no reason. If you skip the second phase, he just regenerates one thing, and now he just... okay. No, I understand this fight better than most, but I still don't understand this fight at all. It really doesn't make much sense. And since he died pretty far up, we have to wait for him to swim all the way to the bottom. Unfortunate, but it happens. Oh, never mind, I got there too early and he did another turn, and now we have to go over to him and do a little more dialogue mashing. And he wants us to take him to his friend Uberhank, which we will do. And yeah, just pick him up, and we're gonna have to go back to Popo City Central. So just walking for a while, basically. Not much going on. Talk to these guys, and they're actually made to be a little bit faster than you, so you don't get there faster than them, but if you do this bazooka boosting thing quick enough, you actually overtake them pretty easily. Leave them in the dust. Oh, that almost... Sometimes that train there stops in a way where you can't jump up below it, which is just so dumb. And you'd have to wait for the train to get away from there, but luckily that train stopped in a favorable way, so we could still get up here. So we just give Grievous to Uberhank, and then, yeah, we can go to the drill hall and get out of Popo City. But there was a glitch found recently where you just do like basically an infinite jump glitch with the cheap light item that we sold earlier by like duplicating it using the fake selling and just jumping over this whole thing and getting to the next area that way. But yeah, can't do that right now because the route just isn't there yet, because that glitch was found yesterday. But this is fast enough, I think.
We have another little donation, or not even that little. It's $50 by Anonymous, saying this game is pretty deep for something that looks like it was drawn with a crayon.
Yeah, it's a big passion project, and it's had a lot of reworks. It originally came out in 2013, but got completely revamped in 2017, and it's been pretty much the same since then.
It looks cute. It seems fluffy. You get to shoot bazooka and nobody dies.
That is true. But yeah, talk to these guys. They ask me if I'm in. I obviously say I'm in. And now we have to wait for all of them to walk over to that screen, open the door for them because they can't do that themselves for some reason. and if you bazooka boosted perfectly here and made it all the way to this little ledge, you wouldn't be walked back in the way that I am right now every time a text box appears. It's really not that big of a time loss, but if you get it, you're cool, I guess. Click the bottom text boxes here to have this guy stop talking to me, and now we do another cool little glitch where we skip the FNACer naming sequence. I will explain that when I get it here. You have to... oh, I messed it up. You have to do this. If you press a hotkey to equip a different item than the hat that it automatically equips for you when you walk into that screen, the FNACers that would normally stand there and talk to you leave. And if you do that and then immediately equip the hat again that it makes you equip so you don't die, you skip the naming sequence that they do with you. You have to like go through a long sequence where you make up a FNACer name for yourself. It's a pretty convenient glitch, but we're now done with that. Don't really have to interact that much with the FNACers anymore. But instead we have to do this big puzzle in the guest house, where we have to pull a bunch of levers to get this thing in the middle to go up or down. I messed it up, by the way. I shouldn't have pulled that. That was dumb. I should have gone over here, jumped on these 3 specific buttons, jumped on that button, and then jumped on these 3 specific buttons. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain this whole thing. I honestly couldn't explain it to you because most of it is just muscle memory for me at this point. But it's just like pull lever, funny thing in the middle, move, and at one point I drop down and everyone's happy. Don't pull that lever down there yet. We jump on this button first and go over to the other lever on the left side. Pull that one and then go back over to the right and pull that lever, and then we can finally drop down. This puzzle is actually even more complicated if you play this on higher difficulties, because that's a funny feature. We can finally drop down here, go over to the left again to press this button, and we can summon the ghost that we saw about like 30 minutes ago or something. Wait, I have to equip this, pull this thing in there, hit this button, pull this thing in here, hit this button, press 9, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the cherries that we got earlier. And that summons Raid of Knade, and he should be here any minute now. And he comes out and he revives these 2 blocks that I just pushed into these holes, or pulled. These are my friends now. And he just leaves, and we'll definitely never see that guy again. Anyway, longest talking sequence in the entire game. Just very, very long mashing sequence. It's super annoying, very hard on the arms, but I'm used to it. They just ask me a bunch of questions, and I have to answer a bunch of questions. But after this, we're actually almost coming up on Snackball. Which, I don't know if there's any news on the incentive, if I have to win or not.
We will have you win that.
Okay, that is
It has
annoying.
been... anything for time loss, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, anything for the children.
Anything for
it's-
charity.
It's been met already yesterday, if I read the donations right, because
Wow.
we had Xenos saying CJ says there's $14 left for the win flagball incentive being met. Well, I guess I have to do it. Now you know who to thank for.
Well, thanks for that. We just have to go back out of the guest house and... well, whoops, I tabbed out of the game. That happens sometimes. Yeah, just go over here, and if you remember the, thanks Neville Skip earlier, we do the exact same thing here. It just has a lot shorter of like an activation time. Anyway, we don't actually go directly to Snackball. Directly to Snackball would be the way down there. We actually go up here instead. To do another little glitch in a little bit, where we transfer an item through saves in a really funny way. Oh, whoops, I forgot I have to pull this twice. Actually, 3 times. Unlucky. Yeah, sometimes you have to pull it 3 times. Usually it's 2. Anyway, we get up here, and we get to this save pot, and save right here. And then we jump down to Snackball. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. We jump down here. And this is the Snackball Arena. We first have to go down here though, to talk to this guy so we can actually play Snackball. And hopefully the enemy Snackball team isn't gonna give me too much trouble. And also hopefully I manage to do the item transfer with the different timing. Because if you win Snackball, the item transfer is different. But we'll see, we'll see. It'll be fine. I hope. Alright. I kind of have a strat for winning this. You just have to like go onto their side and hope they don't hit the ball over your head. And oh god, oh, okay, we're fine, we're fine. Yeah. If I can win this like flawlessly, I am actually a god. Cause it's so random. Okay, never mind. My teammate just didn't want to do anything there. That's fine. Okay. This is going really well. This is going extremely well, wow. Okay, it's not going so well anymore. Hey, stop. Stop, dude. Okay, cool. It's just really random. I have no idea how to predict this AI. Oh, I shouldn't have stood there. You wouldn't have gotten that. Come on, come on. Ooh. No, I shouldn't have. Why did I jump? Stop hitting it. You just drop it, man. It's not worth it. Okay. Wow, this guy sucks. Oh my god, that was close. I'm almost there. I only have to get to 10 points. This is extremely difficult, honestly. Like, this is not easy. How did I miss that? One more, come on. Dude. Alright, we got Snackball. And I have to load this save file right now. Please tell me this works. Oh, I got it. Thank God. Whew. you have to load the save file at a very specific point so that the guy has, like, is in the process of throwing the item while you're loading the other save file, so that the item is being thrown on the save file that you're loading and then it flies to you. Also, this is another little skip that Finn has found, where you jump onto this thing, and if you bazooka boost perfectly, I'm just really bad at it right now for some reason, but if you bazooka boost, like, at a good time here, you can make it up here, alright, and skip another little boss fight. Well, it's really not that big of a fight, it's just 3 Fnackers. And we can just do this puzzle without having to worry about the fight itself. And we just get this thing to move up by playing our instrument. And organize our inventory. 5, don't want you on 7. Alright, that should be good. Whew. And we are now actually getting relatively close to the end of the game already. Believe it or not. It's just 3 more boss fights before the final boss, and this is one of them. We talked to these guys. These are the guys that should have given us the name at the start of the game, but since we skipped that, they just give us like a random name here every time, which is kind of funny. We never get to read it though, because I mashed through the text. And you just have to shoot these guys individually and try to finish the fight as close to this door on the left as possible so you can walk through it fast enough. And play the song for down, and then play the song for up, and then get up here to Chef Fnacker. Talks to us a little bit, wants us to help make a soup, which we happily agreed to. Throw in the onion that we got at the start of the game, talk to this guy, talk to him about the rock, and he's like, oh, rocks are really hard to get, and you ask him if he's a Fnacker, and then he just throws a rock in there because he's a Fnacker. And then throw in the trophy, and now he will throw us into the soup, because we were part of the soup all along. And now we have to kill him from inside the soup. And he will raise the water level a little bit every time he does that move to the right. But we can just barely hit his hitbox after he's raised the level once. Sometimes. I've only gotten it to work like 3 or 4 times. But on the second time we can almost always like make it out and finish the fight. And do some more mashing, equip the instrument, play this little song that they're playing for me. And that will push down the soup to the Fnackers and distract all the Fnackers, and then we can go over to the Bankrent, which you might have seen earlier. I kind of skipped over him, but we walked past this giant face in the mud. And he's like the final boss, but first we fight him as like a boss before the final boss, and then he gets angry, and then he becomes the final boss. But first, we have to break this mud ball. We could actually push the mud ball into his mouth to finish the game. Like, in quotation marks, it's basically like a bad finishing of the game. But yeah, this fight is extremely easy, especially on easy difficulty. This attack is the only one that can do any damage to you. But yeah, we got him. There he goes. He is going to the flip side, which is basically the other side of this mud wall. And now we have to go to Raid of Knate again, all the way down into the guest house. Talk to that annoying guy again. And actually do another item transfer once we're there, which is kind of cool. Hit these 3 buttons. Go through this thing, which we couldn't go through last time. save here to do the save, the item transfer faster. These guys are gonna activate Rid of Grenade for me this time. And we just kind of wait until this thing in the middle activates. Sometimes this takes really long, I don't know why. That was stupid. Anyway, we need help, and then we have to just say the bottom answers. We must stop this. How can we help? And where's the bunker now? And now I have to pay attention for when this guy in the bottom says okay. And once he says okay, I have to load the save file. And he will throw this thing to me. Yep. And then we... Where is it? Oh, on 8, okay. We kill ourselves. And now we have to fly up into this thing before he starts talking to us to skip this dialogue. Pretty useful. And we are now at the final boss. We just have to do a little more jumping and running. And then we're at the final boss. And unfortunately, the final boss is a 5-minute auto-scroller. You sit there for 5 minutes and wait for a timer to run out. Extremely unfortunate final boss fight for the speedrun. But it's better this way for just casual play. Before they changed it to this, it was just like a really unintuitive boss fight. But yeah, you can't shoot him, you can't kill him in this fight, but he'll just regenerate. It doesn't do anything. And we wait. We can sit there for that attack. For this attack, we just kind of walk out of the way. For this attack, we shoot his little guys that he shoots at us. Now he does the stomping attack again. That's not that hard to dodge. He laughs. When he laughs, he usually does this attack then, yeah. Did that attack again? Oh, he does this one again. You see what I mean? This fight isn't very interesting. Oh, he does the stomping attack again. I swear he has more attacks than this, please. You're embarrassing me, Rid of Bunkran. Dude, what the hell? Come on, you don't only have 3 attacks. I know you have more. Yeah, there you go. He has this attack as well. So we just break that little thing and he looks real sad. Oh, he does this attack. Yeah, he has this attack as well. He just gets real angry. Oh, you do this again? That's fine. Just break the thing. Oh, this attack again. He still hasn't done all the attacks he can do, trust me. He still has more attacks. And, oh, actually 1/3 of the timer is now up. Good news, guys. He does this attack again. And he does this one again. Yeah, this attack, haven't had that one in a while. It's boring, it's really boring. What can I even talk about here? I mean, I could talk about how potentially in the next couple days the record could come down like 5 minutes. And I'm still mad that I didn't get to show that off at this run, at this marathon. Because it was found yesterday. But yeah, big stuff coming up in the Wuppo community, most likely. Just a little bit more testing is separating that glitch from being used in the any % run. Oh wow, he actually hit me. Oh, and now he actually spits out water. That's cool. And now we have water in here, but he still just does the same attacks that he did before. Actually, no, he has one attack that he does here that he doesn't do normally. That's pretty cool. But he still decides to just do this attack every time. That's cool, I guess. But yeah, we have to wait until it gets really dark in here. And when it gets really dark, Raid of Knate can, you know, get in here and banish this guy to a different dimension, is what happens, I think. Oh, look, he does this attack. He doesn't do this when there's no water. He just does it when there's water for some reason, but... yeah, he will now suck up all the water again, I think. Yeah. There we go. And now he is back to doing his old attack patterns. Oh. This is actually the only attack he hasn't done so far, that's cool. But yeah, also a very easy attack to avoid. You can just stand in that one specific spot that I stood in, and he can't hit you. And I think we are just one attack away from finishing this fight. Should be just about over. Does this, and yeah, this whole flashing thing happens now. If you don't like flashing lights, maybe look away right now. And there he is, there's Raid of Knate, and this is just a little bit more dialogue, and the end of the run is coming up very shortly. Just a little more dialogue. Goodbye, and then he talks to us, and timing ends when my cursor turns from this crosshair to a triangle. The timing is right now. And that was Wuppo any %, at least on the current route. What was my time? It looks like it was 55 something. That's good. That's a fine time. I'm happy with that, especially considering I lost like 2 minutes winning Snackball. And I also messed up the dang Snackball selling, but that's fine. Good time for sure. 55. Wow, that's actually a really pleasing time. And here's the end credits of Wuppo, where they tell you what happens to everyone. Pretty nice. And yeah, that should be it for me, really.
All right, and thank you very much. It was a pleasure as always to have you on. We got some nice donations in. We had a wonderful incentive met and played out. GG's on the Snackball win. Championship tournament went.
Oh,
But other than that,
won the tournament.
It's a one-game tournament. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Not all tournament arcs need to be one whole season of anime. I mean, what? With that, I guess we'll sign you off, and after a short and quick intermission, we will have Command and Conquer. General 0 Hour. Yeah. Thanks for starting off this wonderful day, and have a good time.
Yeah.
Love seeing you around every time you show up.
Bye.